everybody. Welcome to Home on the RNG. I'm Jeff. We've got Russ. We've got a Chris.
Listen, you get three white guys in front of some microphones. They're going to start podcasting.
Yeah.
If you didn't start the show proper, there's going to be a podcast that's going to happen. It just may not be the one you want.
I've tried so many times. We are here today approaching the end of Sequel-palooza, I guess, where we are playing the second entry in a game where we've already reviewed the first game to do the sequeliest of sequels, because we are talking about the second game in the Persona 2 duology.
I thought we were just starting the Sequel-palooza.
Oh no, we've been in it for a while.
Been in it for a while.
We've been in it for a while.
That's why 2's been on all the titles.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't
pay
know
attention
when
to
any
anything.
of these come out, and I don't.
This is Persona 2, also known as Persona 2 Eternal Punishment.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go ahead and jump into personal
Eternal
history.
Punishment, that should be the name of this podcast. But I'm bummed. No, I don't know. No, this is good. This is a good one. I'm excited about this one. Not that I wasn't excited about Suikoden last time.
You hadn't had an Oreo yet?
I hadn't had an Oreo. I didn't have enough protein.
So I don't have any personal history. This was the last Persona game mainstream that I have not played. So this...
Fun.
Yeah. I have now beaten all of the Persona games, which is nice.
Yeah. I'm the opposite. This is the first experience I ever had with Persona.
What a weird starting point.
I didn't pick up the first one on the PS1.
Or the second one.
Or the second one, because it didn't come out here. And then I did not beat it back in the day. I didn't finish it. But I played a substantial amount of it back in the day. And then for this review, I played... like the original version, because isn't there like a PSP version?
There is a PSP remake, which is what I played.
Okay. But it doesn't have an official English translation,
correct.
Right? Okay.
It is a fan translation of the PSP remake. But
So on the PS1, we got Persona 2, but not Persona 2-1. And then on the PSP, we got Persona 2-1, but not Persona 2. Correct.
Wow.
Because I played Persona 2, the PS1 version on my PS3.
But the internet, I always check in on Reddit when I'm going to be playing these games that I haven't played before in the JRPG subreddit, and I like to get people's thoughts, opinions, and maybe little tips or tricks like, oh, hey, when you're fighting this one monster, make sure to get this one item because it's, a one-of-a-kind experience, whatever.
And probably a lot of nude artwork of the characters.
Oh, of course.
Okay.
And so the general consensus was... you want to do the PSP remake if you can, because in addition to all of the quality of life improvements that they add with the mini-map and all of these other things, also the adjustable difficulty, because apparently this game on the PS1 was very punishing.
Yeah, it is. I mean...
Eternally?
It was eternally punishing.
So I played the fan translation of the PSP remix. You played the original.
I played
which is
the original.
Kind of our style. Chris, do you have any personal history with this game?
None whatsoever. I didn't play the original. I didn't play the PSP remake. I have not played this game.
But you listened to the soundtrack.
Let's say yes.
You listened to some of the soundtrack.
You
listened to a song.
Generously, yes.
Okay. Let's go ahead and move into story and characters. Can you pop your phone for me, please?
You're in. Okay.
Thank you. When rumors start to come to life, it's up to a small group of adults to waken the power that lies inside of them to stop the evil wish-granting Joker. Who is Joker, and why is he convinced that he has a deep connection to our main characters? If you'll recall, from when we reviewed Persona 2-1, I have changed exactly one word of that from teenagers to
Right.
adults.
Yeah.
Nice.
Because at least for like the first 10 hours of the game, that's the difference.
Yeah.
That's what I did when I
mean-
hit age 30. I
Yeah.
changed my word from I'm a teenager to I'm an adult.
I'm still a teenager emotionally.
So some
That is my favorite thing. Well, not my absolute favorite thing, but I love that this is about adults.
Yes. So some spoilers. There's no way to do this without some spoilers. But essentially, at the end of Persona 2 Innocent Sin, the decision is made that the only way to save the world and to erase all of the tragedies that happened in that game is to change the past so that the main characters never formed a bond, never became friends, and never knew each other. And this game takes place in the new timeline.
So this is like that episode of the A-Team.
Oh my god. But it
I've
is...
never seen an episode of the A-Team, but I believe you.
I'm absolutely bluffing.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
I have seen the A-Team, but I don't think there's an episode like that.
It
But
is-
that would be a great A-Team.
It is an imperfect reboot of the universe.
Right.
Because the main character from the first game does keep his memories, and events and characters from the first game try to force... I say first game. Persona 2 1 try to force their way into this new timeline.
They're trying to bring everything back to
That-
the original timeline.
That is exactly like a very spoilery part of a game I love a lot that's recent, so I won't say which, but yeah, I totally get this.
Yeah, it's a fun concept. Just as I was playing this game and going like, oh god, it's just the same story again, it does eventually take off into a new direction and a new depth. The idea of it being a new timeline never leaves, but the story itself is not a perfect duplication of the first one. It starts that way, including similar events. Like, there is a grand sequence in both Persona 2s where the Aeronautics Museum is on fire, and you have to rescue children from this fire, and then the only way to escape is in a blimp that's on display. Again,
As you do.
the Persona series is based in our world. It has a sense of realism and groundedness. And so you escape on a blimp from a burning aeronautics museum.
Yeah.
No, that's great. That's like Indiana Jones right there.
It is very good. The game is actually on the longer side. It is about 50 hours. It is a long game. Well, I'm calling 50 hours a long game nowadays when 100 hours...
I mean, right.
For a Persona game, it's pretty light.
Yeah, it felt long. As I was playing it, it took me forever because I've had a very busy year. So the game felt infinitely longer to me because I was doing stuff like going to Georgia to scuba dive in an aquarium and things while trying to play this
It's not all
game.
about you, okay?
All right. Russ, tell me about the characters.
I love the characters. So this is what I hope Persona 6 will be, even though it absolutely won't. I would like to see a Persona 6 that is made up of young adults rather than high school students.
So off topic, but honestly, so you and I've had this discussion before why a lot of Japanese culture in their media seems obsessed with high school. And your statement was that it's the last shared experience that they have culturally.
Japan is kind of a collectivist culture. High school is
A common experience.
Is a common experience
But
for
here's-
basically every.
Here's my counterpoint, and here's what I think Persona 6 should be setting-wise. Office work. An adult, middle-aged man working in an office. Because I got news for you. Even if you listening at home, if you have never worked in an office setting, whatever your job may be, all work is important and vital. God, sitting in front of an Excel processor does not make anybody special.
I wouldn't say CEOs are vital, but let's
Sure.
keep going.
But my point
Agreed.
is, even if you've never worked in an office, thanks to television and just your own basic imagination, I feel like everybody can imagine what a day-to-day mindless office job would be like.
The soul crushingness.
So we could all have a collective consciousness there. And the idea of, because a lot of the Persona series after this game becomes about balancing your adventures and saving the world with your day-to-day life. Like, oh, I got to make sure I study for this exam. Oh, I got to find time to build up my relationships with other people and form connections with people. Like, this would work in an office setting, right? I got to make sure I get my work done for the presentation, but I also have to find time to form connections with people in and outside of work, and I have to go into the magical, mystical dungeon in the collective unconsciousness of humanity.
That might be the saddest thing I've ever heard, but I'm glad that you shared that with me.
I think it would work.
I was going to make my pitch more fun, that you're some fun-loving 20-somethings that hang out at a bar, and then you have to go fight evil in a mystical world, which is basically Catherine, except an RPG instead of a puzzle game. What I'm saying through all of this is I appreciate that, except for Tatsuya, all your party members are grown-ass adults.
Especially your main character, Maya.
Now, I will
with her
say,
weird character design.
Yeah, she has hearts on her boobs.
That's not an exaggeration. It's not hyperbole.
Yeah,
her costume design is giant hearts.
A jacket that has hearts right over the breasts.
Oh, yeah. And giant hearts right where the breasts are.
Choice.
Yeah.
So here's the thing.
This will make them take me seriously as a woman in journalism.
Right. Yes, she's a reporter for Coolest Magazine, which is a magazine for teenagers. That she's like 20 or something. What I don't like, all the characters are great. You've got a roommate, Ulala or Ulala. Not exactly sure how you say that.
Yeah.
But she's an aspiring fashion designer, and she's just weird. She's kind of a weird, kind of a goth, kind of.
She's the aggressive woman who, you bump into her at a bar and she decks you.
And she doesn't need no gun to fight, so she just
I do enjoy that as a character.
Yeah.
I love these settings where it's
Maya gets 2 guns because Ulala doesn't need a gun to fight monsters.
I'm fighting monsters with guns. Yeah, well, I got a sword. You guys are using weapons? I'm just going to punch them.
And then Katsuya, who is Tatsuya was the main character in Innocent Sin. And then Katsuya is his older brother, who is a cop. So we're just going to skate right by that. And then, he's a very cool design. He's a very sexy character. And then Baofu is the actual, like, middle-aged man.
Yes.
In the party. Former, like, mafioso sort of person.
Yes.
And
now information gatherer.
Yeah.
He's got phone taps on everybody.
He's a really cool middle-aged man. He's the kind of cool middle-aged man I aspire to be.
And he and the cop
will.
are constantly in combat because he is blatantly breaking the law constantly. And the cop is like, can we not just for fun? Could you ask me to turn my back or anything before you do that?
Yeah.
And he fights with a coin. He throws coins at the enemies.
Yep. And then there's Tatsuya. Tatsuya is like the 5th main party member, and he is an actual teenager, the Tatsuya from the other side. But before we get him later in the game. Before we get him, we get to return to some of the characters from Persona 1.
Which is really
as
unusual.
Adults.
Yeah. The Persona series, all of the games take place in a shared universe, right? Ignoring the timeline nonsense.
Well, 1 and 2, and then 2 skips to a different timeline, and technically all the others are in the 2 timeline.
Yeah,
technically.
Because in 3, if you check in on the TV optionally, you get to see little cameos and Easter eggs of characters from the previous games. This is the only time where a playable character from one numbered entry is also playable in another numbered entry. It happens in some spin-off games where different characters from different games meet up and can team up. But in the main numbered entry, this game is the one time.
Yeah.
And it's really cool, actually. I love it a lot.
Yeah, I like it too. Did you take Nate or Ellen?
I got the Ellen path.
Yeah, me too. Of course.
I had this in Innovations, but we can talk about it here. There's a branching storyline where you essentially get one of the two characters from Persona 1. They join your party, and you go on a mission with them while other party members do whatever the other mission is. Mm-hmm. But you don't get to just like say, oh, I'll go with Nate. Oh, I'll go with Ellen. It's choices that you make that don't seem related to that idea. Earlier in the game, you make a couple of choices here or there about whatever, and those determine which path you get locked into like 10 hours later, which is kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we don't do that much anymore. But yeah, and then the characters from the first game are part of this game. They're just not playable.
Yeah. Yeah,
all the teenagers from the first one,
and
except
they all show up in the after credits sequence, or not after credits, but the basically the finale, the wrap up.
I will say that I liked this cast better than Innocent Sin.
Yeah, this is a fun cast, and again, it's fun to play as mostly adults. Mm-hmm. Do we want to move into the combat system?
But I will say, here's the one thing that I was going to say. I wanted to say all the positive things about the characters first. What I don't like is that by making Maya the protagonist, they make her a silent protagonist, and so they take away all of her personality.
And the main character from the first game now gets to talk.
And in Japanese, Maya likes to say, let's positive thinking. And sometimes I just say that to myself at work during the day because it's the only way I'm going to get through is to think about Maya.
Because you work in an office.
Because I work in an office. And so I think of Maya, and I
all
say,
three of us work in offices now. Is that
positive thinking?
I mean, I work from home. It's a home office, I suppose. It's the same computer that I watch YouTube on, though.
So let's go ahead and move into combat system, which I thought would be small because it's the same as the last game, but I have a lot of notes.
Can't wait.
Well, the first note just says combat is unchanged from the previous game.
Okay, then we're done.
All right. Great job.
One of the biggest problems I had with Innocent Sin persists here, which is going into combat, you have to decide if you're aiming for experience or cards. You can't get both. You need to grind for cards in order to summon new personas that are more powerful or have different spells for your users. And all of your party members have personas. You've got to grind for cards for all of your party members. But obviously you need experience to get stronger. So you have to double grind, essentially. You have to decide, okay, that last battle was really hard, so I'm going to just grind for experience for a while. Well, I haven't had a new persona in a while. I guess I'm going to grind for cards I hate having to pick.
Frustrating either or. I will say Persona 3 and 4 streamlined it the best.
I agree.
I mean, I enjoy those, that it's streamlined, that only the protagonist changes persona, but also they brought back the demon negotiation in 5. And it's so arbitrary. It's so arbitrary and stupid. And it is in this one, too.
There is an auto battler system that you can set up where you issue what commands you want them to use, and they will repeat them until the combat is over, which is nice when you're grinding up your persona by using low-level skills. But one of the major things in the game is fusion skills, which is if somebody casts a water spell, and then somebody else casts a fire spell, and somebody else casts an earth spell, in that order, then the three spells you can choose to have them combine into a mega spell that can damage all enemies or damage one enemy for a lot. Fusion spells are super useful. You want to use them all the time, and killing an enemy with or finishing a battle with a fusion spell can make your personas more powerful. Even if they're already maxed out, it can boost a stat or let them mutate into a new one. But the order in which your characters go in auto combat is not the same every time. Before you take your turn, you can pick what order you want everybody to go in. There's even, in the PSP version at least, you can just say, hey, I'm going to cast this fusion spell, and it'll slot people into the order they need to be. Great, done. Auto battle. One round of combat goes exactly like you want. The next round of combat, they are all in a different order. Your fusion spell's not going to kick off. You don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
It's very frustrating.
Phantasy Star 4, Saga Frontier, just naming other games that do that.
The combat is a little irritating because it is a lot of menu navigation. You have to, at the beginning of combat, you have to click through to get to the area where you set your actions for every character. Then you click back out and you can click in to decide, okay, is it going to be one round and then I reset, or is it going to be continuous, and then you click back out, and then you have to go down and say, okay, now start the combat. It is a lot of menu navigation. It is frustrating. Another issue.
Did you have speed up mode in your, like a sped up?
I didn't use it if I had it.
Okay. Well, it wasn't an option in the one I played.
A lot of bosses have an ability called Old Maid. This is super frustrating. What Old Maid does, it's a spell that they cast, and what it causes is one of your characters secretly turns against you for a round. This is kind of like the confused status a lot of games use. It is only for one round. You don't know which party member it is. So the recommended way to stop this is, as soon as Old Maid is cast, you immediately hit the cancel button to stop combat, which you can do at any point, and reassign what everybody's going to do. You set everybody to block or defend, and then you let them go through a round, and whichever one of them is the traitor, instead of hurting your party member, will defend. But you lose an entire round of combat. Then you have to navigate through the menus to set up everybody's actions again that you wanted them to have. Then you start the combat again, and the enemy casts Old Maid again. And then you stop the combat, and you... Yeah, it is a loop. I do find most of the boss fights, if the enemy doesn't have Old Maid, you just set your most powerful magic user to do a group healing, assign other attack skills, set it to auto combat, and just walk away. You don't need to be there for most boss fights, which...
Those are the best games, where you can just set them up and then walk away.
Yeah, JRPGs heavily feature combat. I mean, that's the main gameplay element of a JRPG. And when you design it such that it's most effective to just hit a button and leave, you might want to retune your system.
Yeah, I agree.
So yeah, overall, I don't really enjoy the combat of this game.
It is too menu-y. I agree with that, definitely. And I definitely am glad they got rid of the having to make new personas for everybody.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Did you have anything you wanted to add in combat?
No, I'm just glad that these, and I mean, in a sense, ended it too, did away with like the grid thing from Persona 1, where you had to put, line all your characters up, because if they had a short range weapon, they only had this range, and then if they have a long range weapon, you want them in the back, and then and that was...
No, they found other irritating things to do instead.
Not to me as irritating as that stupid grid.
So the next section is innovations, which is going to be shorter than a lot of innovation sections, because this is really just the second half of the game that we've already talked about. I am going to re-hit some points that I think are good. Walking recharges your SP at a really good rate. That's your magic power. Because primarily in this game, you want to be casting spells, except for occasionally you'll encounter enemies who can reflect them or are invulnerable to spells. Then you want to do physical attacks. But you're doing a lot of spell casting, and it's nice that you rarely need to worry about running out of mana in a dungeon.
Shockingly, the demon that you can summon from your heart is stronger than a fashion designer punching a monster in the face.
She just needs to level up more.
So, yeah.
I just really enjoy the sound design of this game. I have this under innovations. All the little sound effects, even just the sound of like a character walking, That
Oh,
tick,
I know.
tick, 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 tick.
Yes.
Oh,
My God, I love it.
this game is just ASMR gold. Everything sounds lovely.
This is how I know there's something different with my brain, is because things like that, like the steps, and even just like I like the little sound, like when you scroll through the text boxes. Like it doesn't do like an individual letter, a little, which I also love, but even just the little sound as you're like scrolling through the text boxes is very good. Yeah.
I often bring up Final Fantasy Tactics and loving that gripping sound.
It is, yeah, I know.
This game is just full
The
of
only
little
good thing about Final
sounds that I
Fantasy
love.
Tactics. Yeah.
It is very difficult to grind in this game, to grind to level up if you're feeling underpowered, because almost all of the dungeons are one and done. Mm-hmm. There are very few dungeons you can return to, and the ones that you can return to, the enemies don't get stronger for the most part.
Yeah.
So, great, I can go and fight level 2 enemies. I'm level 50.
I like it because it keeps me moving forward. I like any game that keeps me moving forward.
Yeah, but I like, oh man, that boss battle, that I barely squeaked by. I'd like to level up a bit, maybe grind for some cards. No, I better wait until I find the next dungeon to unlock, which, by the way, a lot of the dungeons in this game have story reasons why one character or another can't join you in that dungeon. Mm-hmm. And it's like, no, but I wanted to level them up, and now they're gone. There are a lot of optional quests and hidden dungeons. This is kind of like Suikoden 2. This is one of those games where you could spend 100 hours looking for all the little secrets, to min-max your character or find that ideal build or get that perfect persona. That's all I have for innovations. I really...
Yeah, I mean, it is the same as Innocence. And this is kind of the awkward teenage years of Persona.
I wonder if they
there was
didn't...
like Persona 1, which was like an annoying child, at least combat wise.
Sure.
And then this is like the awkward teenage years where they're figuring it out, and then they got it Persona 3.
I wonder if they originally intended this to be one game and just from technological limitations had to break it in two.
It could have been. I don't know. This is only my speculation. I'm less inclined to think that it is because both games feel like a complete experience.
This is true.
Versus like Golden Sun, where like nothing happened. Like it's fun game, great game, but nothing happens in the first one. Nothing happens.
I'm getting ready to play the second one for Home on the RNG, and I'm like, I need some kind of recap video because I don't remember anything.
Nothing happened.
All I remember is we were searching for a mystical land, and then we arrived there, and the game ended. That's all I remember at all.
We were going to 4 lighthouses. We made it to 3 of them. We screwed up and did not accomplish our goal, and then the game ended.
Okay, now I'm ready for the next one.
And then everything happens in the second one.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So, Chris is still here.
Oh.
Hi, Chris.
Hello.
Hi,
So let's talk about the music real quick.
Let's talk about my favorite piece of music.
Do, please. You know the game, I don't.
From the pharmacy.
Oh,
Yeah.
I completely forgot to mention this during personal history like I should. So let me just say, it was developed and released by Atlus for the PS1 in 2000, and then they did a PSP remake in 2012.
It was released in 2000, and it takes place far into the future of 2005.
So, is the drugstore called like Satomi Tadashi or something like that?
I believe so.
Okay, great. Yeah, because there's several... In the soundtrack, there's several tracks called Satomo Tadashi, and all of them are amazing. And I assume, based on like the first game, when I looked at it, that these are the pharmacy themes.
Yeah.
They have vocals, they're over the top and goofy, and very, very fun.
Love it.
Yeah. That's all I've got. Okay, let's talk
It's
about
like 5 people on the composers list, although 2 of them are just for the remake, I believe.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I did listen to some of the PS1 original because I wanted to hear what some of these songs sounded like in the original, and I wanted to check for like remasters and stuff. But that turned out to be an 11th hour project that I did not finish. But
it is my understanding, and I might be slightly off on this, but it's my understanding that when they remastered the music for this, just like for Innocent Sin, for the PSP remake, they just took the songs and mostly remixed them to make them feel more like the music of Persona 3, 4, and 5 to fit tonally into the oeuvre of Persona soundtracks.
The oeuvre. That sounds like a piece of furniture. But yeah, that is correct. That's what I got, the sense that I got out of listening to them. I just didn't make any notes.
And I will say, I really am going to let you talk. I swear to God, because this is your section.
No, the more you talk, the less I have to.
But Persona is one of the very few video game series where I, a musical idiot, a musical agnostic, like you play me a snippet of a song from a Persona game, I can usually go, that's a Persona game. They do have a distinctive quality to them.
Absolutely.
In the JRPG realm.
Oh, yeah. It's largely... I'll get to this giant list of composers in a second, I guess. So the overview of this Persona game, as well as a lot of them, is that it's not your usual JRPG thing. A lot of it is like couched in funk. There's some hip-hop, some trip-hop, some like... chill-electric kind of stuff, techno even, straight up. And so, yeah, Persona games kind of have this urban flair to them, a very modernist kind of soundtrack thing. And it was present in the originals, too. It's just that, yeah, like, basically for these kind of games, like, they would just kind of take the original, throw in, like, you know, a cool lo-fi hip-hop beat to relax and go and do bad combat, too. Going by your words anyway. I don't know. I haven't played this game. Maybe I like the combat. I don't know.
You do tend to find the ability to enjoy things from a different angle, is how I will phrase it.
Yeah, let's.
It is entirely possible you could jump in there and just be like, this is fantastic.
Yeah, someday I'm going to get like a PSP emulator or something like that and just like blaze through these games because I can't afford them.
Nobody can afford them.
Yeah, exactly. Would love to play the PlayStation original. Yeah, good luck. Okay, so let's just...
if you didn't already have it downloaded on your PS3, you're out of luck now.
Yeah, especially double out of luck if you don't even own one.
Yeah, true.
So yeah, Persona 2 Electric Boogaloo. You always have to make that joke at least once when talking about any sequel.
I agree.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. I had to fill in the quota. So, the composers. I am going off Jeff's notes for this because I did not do my own research on this one.
If it's Miki Huggins again, I'm going to be thrilled.
Can you believe it? She is here. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. No, there's a lot of composers that mostly work on like Atlus RPGs and also the Persona series specifically, which I personally have not dove into. So these are not people who are as familiar to me as like a Akihiko Mori, who we will be talking about soon, who did the fantastic Mystic Arc soundtrack.
Mystic Arc will be mentioned in every episode until we do Mystic Arc.
I will personally make sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got Toshiko Tasaki. She has done a ton of Shin Megami Tensei related credits. That's Jeff's note. I believe it. I have seen that name before in some Mega 10 games, and so yeah, probably a formidable composer here. I don't know who did with a share of the work. I don't know if this is listed by that. Again, if you visit vgmdb.com, you'll find usually a soundtrack that credits composers individually for tracks. And there's 96 tracks or so in this soundtrack, so, you know, good luck with that if you want to take that upon yourself. We got Kenichi Tsuchiya, who also does tons of Atlus games. Again, I believe it. We got Masaki Kurokawa. After working on the Persona 2 duology, didn't do any real composing work until Metaphor Refantanasio earlier this year.
Okay.
So apparently we got a Metaphor person here.
Well, fun. Metaphor is... The music does not catch me like Persona.
Understood. Well,
Not that it's bad.
You got a name. You got a person to blame for that.
There's a lot of ambient sound.
Yeah.
I find, and because it's like more fantasy.
Yeah.
It's more of that kind of soundtrack.
I should have taken the time to find the sound designer for this game, since we like all the little tick, 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 tick.
It might be one of these people.
Yeah.
It might be one of these people. Because that often happened, is that a composer would just also be charged with coming up with the sounds. Not always, but sometimes. And yeah, that's actually the funny thing. That's one of my notes for Persona 2 is even when there's ambience, they'll throw like a jazz piano solo over it or something. It's pretty great. Or, like Foley. Like, they got one song that's like piano with a thunderstorm. I don't know where it goes, but it's pretty good. We got Toshiki Konishi. Has worked on Persona and Catherine soundtracks, mostly the spin-offs and remakes. So this must be a remake composer here.
Well, that's one of the ones who did the PSP, which is a remake, so...
Yeah, and somebody who worked on Catherine would have definitely worked on a PSP game or two. Atsushi Kitajo, who worked on so many Persona and SMT-related soundtracks. His first work was on Growlancer 6, famous Persona game, Growlancer 6.
It's my favorite one.
So
Did you know that I don't know if it's true of all Growlancer games, but most of them, at least, the artwork is done by a hentai artist.
I had heard that.
Hadn't you heard that? Okay. I thought I was going to bring up an interesting fact.
I guess we might play Growlancer at some point.
I've never played one, so that would be new for me.
I've played a little Landgrisser. Are they related? They sound similar.
I don't know.
Okay, we're going to find out.
We're going to find out, yeah.
That's what this podcast is for, finding out things that you can Google.
Did you have any other musical notes to add?
I have so many, like you can see that these are like some of my notes for this soundtrack. But ultimately, it's just like this game is vibes. I will shout out the boss battle music. I loved listening to it because it sounded like at any point the Mortal Kombat theme was going to break out. Not the video game, the movie.
Okay. Nice. True.
Yeah, the actual soundtrack, OST, whatever you call it, for the unrelated to the game but official soundtrack.
Gotcha.
90s kids know what I'm talking about here. And I also really appreciate that for the battle results, it's basically a slap bass solo. Love that. There's a lot of really pretty jazz-related, mostly piano tunes, but then they will like straight up go into like this cool like city sounding, like funk kind of electronic number. There's a thing called Time Castle, which sounds like Costa del Sol from Final Fantasy VII. And
that's the card shop.
The card shop, I love it. It has an auto harp in it for some reason. Yeah, it has like this like jazz piano bit that just kind of comes in. I really, really enjoyed that one. And yeah, I like Maya's theme. I think that she's got a great melody to her theme. I think that Do you
think of hearts on your boobs when you hear Maya's theme?
I mean, I think about that in general.
I see.
So
Okay.
Yeah, it's just kind of like, it's part and parcel to the whole process of my my cognitive workings.
Nice.
And the note I have for the title theme is I just wrote chill David Lynch sounding thing. Clearly, I'm not very serious in these notes. But yeah, no. And again, shout outs to the Satomi Tadashi songs. They usually have vocals and lyrics to them, in Japanese, of course, but they're all very interesting. And I feel like that is something that has come up in the previous games too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yep.
That's about all I have for the music, really. Just shouting out tracks I like because it's all vibes.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, that kind of is the whole Persona series soundtrack is just vibes. Mm-hmm. The opening to Persona 5 and 4 are just kind of cool. Chill out and watch this opening graphics and this cool music. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I am really looking forward
to have the overworld music that I can sing along to a little bit.
I'm really
Wake
looking
up,
forward.
get up, get up there.
I say that to the dogs all the time. I really do. Let's go ahead and move into final thoughts. Honestly, it's a really enjoyable and good experience. The combat is not my favorite, but I love the story, and I especially love what they're doing with the storytelling device, this alternate timeline and things trying to bleed through and then taking it in a new direction. There is a lot to like here, and it is worth getting through the parts that are a little bit more tedious. I'm giving it a B, but the story is great, the gameplay is solid, and after this, Persona gets so good. 3, 4, and 5 are just excellent. So I'm looking forward to that.
I might even play those since I have them.
That would be a good thing to do.
You should.
We should, when we do Persona 3, I'm serious, we should each do a different version of it. Like,
I own Portable.
one person can do like portable boy route, and one can do portable girl route, which is me.
I've done Portable Boy before. I'm going to play the remake for
And
our
then
review.
you can play the remake. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm also going to see, this is getting into the future, but generally I play games in order starting with the first game in the series because I like to see how things build. And if I like a game, I find it difficult to go back and play earlier versions that don't necessarily have all the quality of life stuff. So I like to play through a series in order. It's
You
one of the
have
reasons
built
we've
a lot of arbitrary rules into your life. We know.
I have. But I'd never played Persona, and Russ and my friend Rachel, who's been on a handful of episodes and does the Never Beat games with me here, both were pressuring me very hard. Start with Persona 3.
Yeah.
Don't start with 1, 2, or 2. Start with 3. And I gave in, and I did. And I think it was the right decision, because I think 1, 2, or 2, they've all been fine, but none of them grip you like like the third game does. So I might try to see if we can get Rachel to join us when we do Persona 3. Anyway, go ahead with your...
I enjoyed this immensely. I found myself enjoying myself more than I did when we played Innocent Sin. I think I prefer this one. Maybe it's the adult characters. Maybe it's, I don't know. I don't really know what it is, but it's a vibe, and it was a good vibe. And all of the criticisms of the battle system, those are accurate, but it's a maybe the whole is greater than the sum of its parts situation. I never felt it was too tedious because I was just enjoying the story so much. I give it 1.5 heart boobs out of 2 heart boobs.
Fair enough. Yeah. And Chris hasn't played it, so we may skip his final thoughts.
I'd like to play it. That's a good enough rating.
There you go. Before we talk about the next game, instead of plugs, let's just talk about some media we're consuming right now. Something you're watching, something you're reading, something you're playing right now.
Is that different?
Well, a plug is, hey, I recommend somebody check this thing out that I like. Something you're doing right now you may not even like.
So should I talk about like some kind of horrible TV show that I...
Well, so right now I'm watching Interior Chinatown. I'm maybe halfway through the one season that exists, so maybe it will be great, maybe it will tank. Right now I find it very intriguing. The plot seems to be, and I haven't fully understood everything, the plot seems to be that the main character is a background extra on a Law & Order style TV show, but he doesn't know it. He just finds that he's having trouble doing anything beyond his role.
How cute.
As he tries to investigate the murder of his brother, who it looks like maybe the brother was a main character in earlier seasons of this Law & Order spinoff, and then might have gotten his own kung fu show.
Okay.
There's a lot I'm still trying to figure out.
That sounds intriguing. What is this on? Where can one watch this?
It's on Hulu.
Okay.
It's fairly recent. One season so far. Taika Waititi is an executive producer. It's based on a book. I haven't solved all of the mysteries yet because, like I said, I'm only 3-4 episodes in, I think.
Okay.
But I am intrigued because rarely am I presented with something so interesting and confounding that I have to pick apart. So now when I finish the show, maybe it'll turn out to be awful. Maybe they'll do a reveal and be like, ugh, that sucks.
Yeah.
So that's why this is different than a plug. It's just something I'm doing right now.
What is the level of Taika Waititi?
He doesn't seem to be one of the writers. So
Okay.
director and executive producer.
Not that I dislike him. He is a pungent spice that is good when used sparingly.
This doesn't seem to have his usual brand of New Zealand style humor.
Okay. Okay.
New Zealand style.
I mean, yeah, nothing against our New Zealand fans,
No,
or anything like that. I
think it's a distinctive comedy style.
Okay.
Like as I enjoy. I've watched several shows from New Zealand now. I do enjoy that style of comedy, but it is a distinct and separate style of comedy that I can pick up on. And this show does not have that for the most part.
Fair.
So, Chris,
Interior
what's something
Chinatown.
you're watching or playing or reading right now? You're doing your 50 games.
Yeah, this, I guess, full disclosure, this podcast is being recorded in the middle of December 2024, and I took it upon myself to beat 50 games that I have not yet beaten on Nintendo Switch. That is to say, if I've beaten them elsewhere, that's fine, but I can't have beaten them on the Switch yet. And I am right about to end that because I am at the very last part of the Chrono Cross Radical Dreamers collection. So yeah, I'm about to beat Chrono Cross again. I was really going to use this opportunity to shout out that this year for me has been the year of getting an analog pocket, which is a great FPGA emulator device that plays Game Boy games and whatnot. But of course it doesn't have a jail to break out of. You can just load like FPGA cores and ROMs on it. So I've got like 50,000 games in it or something.
Not that we support emulation on
I mean, I own the
podcast.
games, so it's fine.
There you go.
Plus, it plays carts, like I said, so nothing I'm talking about is untoward.
And I really do have a copy of The Twisted Tales of Spike McFang. Okay,
That's awesome.
So
I need to get that one still.
I can play that as much as I want on an emulator.
Exactly.
Thank you very much.
So, yeah, the thing though about it is that just 2 days ago I got a dock for it, so I can play it on a big screen TV in HDMI with controllers, and it's such a better experience than I thought it was going to be. Because when I think docking an emulator, I'm like, oh, this is gonna suck. It's gonna be all input lag, and it's gonna look weird. But no, it's actually pretty amazing. So if you are out there and have and enjoy an analog pocket, even if you're just playing your Game Boy cartridges or Game Boy Advance cartridges, because it does that, I recommend getting that dock.
Nice.
Nice.
Also, full disclosure, we are recording this episode the day before my 42nd birthday. Merry
27th.
Mary, Jeff, Miss Eve. You just keep saying that because you're the same age as me and you don't want to be.
Yeah. We're 27, okay?
Russ, I'm about to be 42.
I'm just a baby.
Russ, you're in your 40s.
So you're just a baby.
Russ, what is something that you are currently engaged with?
Which one should I talk about? Currently, I will say this. Since we're talking about something I'm currently doing, I'm currently watching Dark.
What is Dark?
Dark. I'm going to tell you.
Please do.
If you could just calm down for a
But I
minute.
need to know what Dark is.
Dark is
Is it a TV show?
Mystery thriller series on Netflix. German. If you don't want to read subtitles, it is dubbed, or you can read subtitles. And it is bonkers. It's about time travel. It has a very dark tone. It's always raining in this German town. And people are traveling between different time periods, all 33 years before or after each other. And it's 3 seasons. I just finished the first season, and the first season finale was bonkers to the point that it might totally change what the show is.
Interesting.
So I am sharing it because, kind of like you and whatever the hell it was you talked about earlier, something about Chinatown.
Interior Chinatown.
Interior Chinatown. I am...
There's only one way to get out of Chinatown, and that's Kung Fu.
Okay. Is that in the show?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm sharing it because I've deeply enjoyed the first season, but I do not know what my overall opinion of it will be. But I really enjoyed the first season. You do have to keep track of a lot of characters. It's about 4 different families, and there are 2 to 3 actors playing every character because of the different time period. So sometimes I do have to just pause it and be like, okay, who is this white-haired bearded old man versus the other 3 white-haired bearded old men on the show? Like, I have to orient myself sometimes, but it's worth it. It's good.
Good. All right. I might actually check that out. So next time, Sequelpalooza continues as we return to the land of Grandia for Grandia 2.
Yay.
We'll see you guys then.
Home on the RNG is a presentation of Mad Centaur Productions. You can find Jeff on YouTube at youtube.com/Centaur Productions or on Twitter at Jeff Centaur. You can find Russ on Twitter at RussMac25. You can find Chris on Twitch at twitch.tv/LiarExaggerate or on Twitter at EnrichFlavor. Thank you for listening, and remember to save your game before powering off this podcast.
Today.